look in the eyes of my brother without shedding a tear for my brother.
Yo! How y'all doing out there? Welcome back to another episode of the InforMILLy Honest podcast. We want to thank you for joining us yet again as we share and converse. If this is your first time joining us, we are brothers from the Miller neighborhood of Gary, Indiana, to show you, one, that Gary is more than hood shit and Michael Jackson, and that a lot of dope people come out of it. We just happen to be a few of them. And so we'd like to come together, have conversations, and chop it up and include you in on it if you ever choose to, involve yourself. Most of all, among these conversations, we pride ourselves on three principles that we always encourage you to have in your conversation. That's being forthright, being vulnerable, and most of all, honest. Fellas, what's going on? In case you're meeting me for the first time, I'm Josh. How you doing? I dance and shit. That's what I do for a living, but I'm more than that, but I'm also pretty much just that.
All right, I suppose I'll jump on in. I am Aaron, and I drive and shit. And I was just telling Josh offline, I guess we could say, I listened to the previous episode y'all did, and my only critique was that I wasn't the topic of discussion for at least an hour. Just messing around. It was actually a really cool episode. So I bring that up because, shout out to Winter, man. I bring that up because I wasn't there for the previous recording. What have I been up to? Let's see. Well, nothing. I know I mentioned this to you guys off mic as well, that I wanted to maybe push my boundaries a bit to different degrees. Each time won't be like an absolute, stretching of my comfort zone. I was thinking of a sexual joke. It just didn't hit. Just didn't feel good. But
I mean, stretching can go a lot of ways.
Yeah. It's got to feel natural.
That's what she said.
Yeah. See, it's all coming. It's coming. Yo, I'm literally wearing my pajamas, rolled out, threw a fucking robe on. yo, drank a smoothie and was ready to go. The crust is still in my eyes.
That is not something to brag about, but sure.
Let's see. First week, what did I do? I swam. I went out. Yeah, I swam outside in the pool that we got. It was 47 degrees. And I said I'm gonna spend at least a minute and a half in this pool, and it was a horrific experience, if I'm being completely honest. But I did it because the simple fact that I didn't want to do it. Everything won't be that extreme. Next week's might be something, a little easier. Maybe I'll dye my hair or some shit. But
okay, come back looking like the original Slim Shady.
Actually, yo, literally, blonde was actually my choice, and it's just something that I would still be a little bit hesitant about, or I'd still be, if I feel like, all right, I'm worried that somebody's gonna say something or somebody else thinks, I'm probably gonna do it just to kind of like, just to kind of push my comfort zone a bit.
Absolutely, because
staring at. Yeah.
If no one else, I'm gonna roast the shit out of you.
That was first week's, and I'll make this shirt because we gotta have time for everybody else too.
Everybody being Adam.
I jumped in.
I'm not gonna say much. So.
Nah, it's all good. Let's see. I also had a really, really sincere conversation, and not that my conversations aren't always sincere, but this particular one I had with this individual, we got on many topics, and I just, without fear or worry, I just said exactly how I felt. And I would like to think that most people, we all try to strive to do that, but sometimes there's things that get in the way. It's okay. Am I worried about what they're gonna say? How is this gonna land? What have you? This time I just said it. Like when they asked questions, I answered exactly how I felt. And at the end of it, part of me was a little worried, like, damn, this might be like a friendship ender.
I mean, there's
but like,
nuance to that, you know?
yeah. But they had a level of respect. It was like a wow, okay, that's
Mhm.
you were serious about, you were sincere, if nothing else.
Mhm.
And once again, man, I attacked it because going in, I was nervous. I had some like reservations about it, and I was like, because of this, I'm going for it anyway.
Word.
So yeah, two outdoor swims in freezing cold water. I think it's about 50 degrees or something like that, water. And then it's a super sincere conversation so far. It's happened within these last 2 weeks. And I will update you guys each week on how awkward and uncomfortable I get. But hey, we're keeping it forthright, vulnerable, and honest, man.
So, feel you on that. AJ, before we go to you, I wanna touch on what you just talked about, Aaron, as far as just saying things exactly how you feel them. I think that that's possible to have in more conversations than not, but the nuance comes in not censoring yourself because you're afraid of how they'll react, but just maybe even like being in consideration of what their experiences may be as you say it.
Yes, yeah, and being willing to like just getting it out there, and then being willing to explain and say, "Hey, here's where I'm coming from." But like,
right
when I, like, yeah, it's for sure. It's for sure nothing like I'm gonna say this to hurt you on purpose or anything. It's just if you're asking me a question, if we're gonna be friends, I want to be able to give you the most honest and vulnerable answer that I can. You're asking me the question, I'm gonna be sincere with you.
Right.
And then being willing to be like, yo, by the way, I'm not, there was nothing dickish, no dickish motivations from that. Yeah, and it worked out. I'd say, and I hope that it like set a precedence for my relationship with that individual thus far. From here on out.
Dope. AJ, what's going on with you?
Not much. I mean, still on the hunt for better employment. Yeah. So I think that's probably the case for most people, really. Always trying to find the next best thing. And I'm envious of the people that's already there. Like, this is exactly what I want to do. This is exactly how much I need to make, or more than I need to make for some people. But besides that, I've been I think I might have mentioned this episode or two ago, how like I'm trying to get back into like sculpting, like cardboard sculpting and stuff. And I think I finally figured out what I'm going to do. Because if for like, honestly, for a year, I'm like, man, what should I do? Should I go big, or should I just start off small, or like just trying to figure out, So I'm going to probably start that project pretty soon here. And I'm just trying to make, like, I guess you could say, so I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but like in this day and age, like everybody's kind of on social media, like their art and stuff, like Instagram and different YouTube even. It's like that's cool, but like I was telling Kirsten actually last night, I was like, I would love to be able to make something and then link up with like a gallery or a studio somewhere and try to get like in the actual exhibit, like back in the day, the old school, art shows. People still do that, of course, but like I would like to do that. So that's going to be like a mission of mine for like next probably like year, honestly, because I don't necessarily want to reveal what I'm making yet, but I just want to make it like, I want it to be the most intricate thing I've ever done, just period.
Word.
So,
if I can get you any 2 cents of an idea, record the entire process.
Oh yeah, I am, and I'm gonna put it on my
idea.
YouTube channel. Adam Creates, if you guys want.
And also, I want to say something really quick, that like you're trying to make the most intricate thing you've ever done. literally everything else you've made was also been intricate. So like I'm ready. I'm also ready and like hyped for this shit too, bro.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. And just a side note, actually, you reminded me. I actually finished the drawing in one day, which is like Adam knows for sure. It's like I think has never happened before ever in my 31 years. But it's like I just pushed myself to be I pushed myself to be uncomfortable. It's like, yo, I'm going to finish this, and however it comes out, if I don't like it, which is 97% of the time, then I'm gonna do it anyway. So I'm glad you just reminded me of that, bro. But even more important than that, like I'm super excited and looking forward to what you got to reveal to us, because motherfuckers master, and you're a master.
Appreciate that. I'm trying, man.
Most definitely, man. I find so much. I'm not gonna lie, TikTok is great. I'm probably never gonna make anything, but watching the content is really entertaining. And I found so many like niche pages. Besides like food stuff or technology stuff or money stuff, which the money stuff is more so irritating because they're always like, this is how you can buy a property in your area. And I'm like, yo, come on now.
It seems like the last like 5 years or so, everybody's become a financial expert, and it's beyond annoying. For me, I appreciate people that actually have legitimate tips and stuff, but people like, I know you might have seen the memes floating around, like how people are like, instead of buying that PS5, you need to buy your LLC.
The LLC Twitter is just stupid.
It's like stupid. If you don't actually have a business, there's no reason to have an LLC. You're
just asking yourself to get taxed more for no reason.
It's like, it's like you have one. Okay, now what? What's your business? What's the product you're selling? What's the service? You don't just get an LLC now. Suddenly, money just starts falling out of the sky. Like, it's not.
Yeah, right. I know.
That's just a tool for business owners. It's not like it doesn't equal automatic funds just appearing in your Cash App. Like,
yo, I'm just picturing, like, because I know a lot of times people get LLCs and like S corporations to avoid being sued and have their own personal assets being taken. So I'm just like picturing people getting into car accidents and being like, oh, you can't sue me, I got an LLC. You can't sue me, sorry, dog, sorry. Yo, sue the company.
And mind you, I don't really know, but I'm like, why do you think that's not going to come after your real assets if your whole business runs out of your house?
Man, you ain't like, you have nothing to prove that you're even a business outside, I guess.
Or you're using your home. You're using your home office. You're using one of your bedrooms with your computer in it, saying that that's your home office. So when they come through, you think they're not going to confiscate that computer? your fancy chair?
That's funny, man.
And again, I don't really know, but it's just LLC Twitter is fucking
yeah. I just hate when like people try to tell other people what to do with their money. That's my biggest annoyance. Whether it's LLC or not, like instead of buying that PS5, I need to insert anything. Like, just mind your business, man. Like,
man, I was just about to say, yo, so I got this other account, and then
but no, I bring that up because I definitely think I don't remember what the actual term is when you like speed up the creation of something to show like beginning to finish.
Time lapse.
Time lapse. A time lapse video of your projects for that 60 seconds. That's easy blow up.
Yeah.
To go from nothing to something as ridiculously dope as the stuff that you make, that's easy. Then you jump them followers up and whatnot, and you're gonna get all the attention that I know you don't want. And then you take that to that museum, and the museum's gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, they have this young gentleman has 2.2 followers, 2.2 million followers, not 2.2, 2.2 million followers." And so we got to get him in here. It's gonna help us, recover from our COVID losses.
I think you mistaked Adam for the Twitter page right now. 2.2 followers.
I say like on YouTube now, I got like 230 at the moment, so it's a good start.
Hey, that's a hell of a start. That's dope shit, man. What was it? I was gonna ask. I hate to bring up Dick sucking twice twice in the same episode, but not in the same episode, but so often. Have y'all ever heard "Good Kisser" by Usher?
No.
This was this. I bring this up because it came up on a radio as I'm in the gym yesterday, and I forgot about it and the fact that it was a single. And you remember how all of us were like tripping the fuck out when whatchamacallit, Ying Yang Twins and Lil Jon Get Low came out, and we were like, wait a minute, doesn't all ski mean like nothing on a person's face? And they thought that was the censored version to put that on the radio.
Yeah.
I was listening to this and I was like, this song is about sucking dick. How is it on the radio?
Yeah. I never heard it, but I know exactly what you mean though, because like I think I brought this up in the chat like months ago, but it was that song by I think they call it Next, Too Close.
Yeah, Too Close.
It's it's so geniusly. I'm not saying they're songwriters of the year or anything, but when you're listening to it like in an innocent mind, you just think, oh, they're just talking about dancing in the club and this person being close, and that's it. But then like when I got older and listened to them, like, no, they're talking about erections for the most part.
and the hilarious part is all they had to do, if I because I don't remember if they would do this if memory serves me correct anyway, radio DJs would make sure the first part of the song was low before they kicked it in. Because the first words he says is, I wonder if she knows I'm hard right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they say before the beat drops.
Yeah.
and so what radio DJs would do is they would have it low until you hear oh, and then they'll turn up the music so all you hear is but they didn't censor any of the rest of the song.
Yeah. But it's so interesting because like there's a line where it's like, you're making it hard for me. Me as a kid, I'm thinking you're talking about making it difficult.
Yeah, dude. I used to sing that shit at the top of my lungs too.
So yeah, it tripped me out genius. Because I was like, this is just hilarious because he's in the song, he's everything about this. One of the parts of the chorus is she's such a good kisser, got lipstick on my leg. Oh baby. That's how the chorus starts. And I was like, lipstick. Is anyone confused about what the fuck he means by this?
Yeah, that's so funny, man. Like, and that makes me think of maybe 2 days ago I was listening to 104.3, old school hip hop and R&B, and there was a Nelly song that came on. Was it Country Grammar? I think it was.
Oh,
and there's a line. I think it's Country Grammar, but in the chorus is like, if the head right, Nelly there every night, or whatever.
Yes, sir.
If the head right, Nelly.
Is that Country Grammar?
Mm-hmm.
So that's in the chorus.
Yeah, I'm
like, okay, but in the song, there's a lyric where he says, "Don't make me pull my fofo out," which is a gun, but they bleep out fofo. But I'm like, I mean, I'm not saying it shouldn't be bleep, but I'm saying that if you're gonna bleep that out, then maybe you should bleep out the chorus, which is being repeated constantly.
But
it's just funny what they decide what's
right.
Yeah.
I think that's one of those things where like dialect and accent make people, almost kind of not even connected.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that because he kind of sings it a little bit, so it kind of glazes over a little, no pun intended, but
because there's been plenty of songs where I'm like, I know what I hear, and that's probably not what the fuck they're saying. Example, because it's on my audio files list for the old school one that we're gonna do eventually. There's a song on Michael Jackson's "Dangerous." Not Dangerous. The song "Dirty Diana," which I think is on Off the Wall. On "Dirty Diana," I'm almost positive. Not almost positive. I was always positive that at the top of when the bridge is coming anyway, he always goes, dun dun That's the way it sounds. In my brain, I heard, she said you're not so gay.
Definitely wasn't expecting that, yo.
That's funny.
Because this
Yeah.
was like light skin, early 90s, Jerry, like curl perm Michael, very metrosexual Michael. And so I was like, oh yeah, she's being like, oh, you're not so gay. Come over here and get some of this poem. And that was what my brain told me as a kid.
Come get some of this
That's
poem. Come on down to the South Pole, girl.
just random shit.
I think said poon.
Poem. Okay.
Yeah, I said pole.
I thought they said, come on over here and get this pole. I was like, yeah, come on to the South Pole real quick.
Pole,
I know
pole. The pole.
Okay, got you.
Punani.
Got you.
So in more recent times, what could you say has been one of the stronger albums you heard?
More
like
recent times.
As a project, what's one of the stronger albums you've heard?
I can go back. First thing that comes to mind is that Cleo Soul. We've done the audio files.
Okay.
She was a part of. I think Marcus's pick for the audio
It was
files.
Marcus's, yeah.
I can't even remember the name of the album. I just know it's from Cleo Soul.
A rose in the dark,
or a rose in the dark. Yeah, was
that it?
I think so.
Remember. I still play.
I feel like I'm thinking.
I still play that.
Me too. You know what's funny? I played that album so much. So you know how like everyone does, not everyone, but a lot of people do their like top 5 albums they listen to that year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. That was actually number 5 on my list. I'm like, dang. And it wasn't like I started listening to it in January either. So
I enjoyed it. I need to get back to it. I haven't listened to it since.
For me, it's one of those albums that I listen to. I would listen to it. I still do sometimes, but I'll listen to it on my way to work. Because for me, you know, I can't listen to like hype music like immediately when I wake up. It's just like it's just too much.
Either.
So that's the perfect album to drive to work to because the sun's still coming up and you know I'm kind of like waking up. So it was cool to do that.
Yeah. I can't say I'm the same.
Really is a good sunrise album.
Depends on the time. If it's like real early, you know, it's dawn with the sun peering over the horizon, then no. But you know, if it's like 10, 11 o'clock and I'm just waking up, I can throw some hype shit on.
Yeah, that late. Well, that late, I'm already at work for like 3 hours. But no, I agree. Yeah, for me, I'm pretty much driving to work at like 6:30.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I if I can help it, my day starts relatively later.
Yeah.
Like in real life, I woke up 30 minutes before we got on.
Yeah, man. I wake up at 4:30, man. Just so I can like
disgusting.
I'm not excited. It's not exciting. It's just not exciting.
It's because I'm an owl. Like I have to make myself go to sleep.
Yeah. See, I'm kind of like that. Yeah. I average, dude. How many? I average like 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and I'm like
about
throughout the week. I'm not excited about that, but it's like, I guess as long as you can function throughout the day and get what you need to get done, you know, with enough energy, then you're good. But
because my big thing is usually I probably only sleep for about 5 or 6 hours. Midway through, I'm gonna get tired. I may take a nap, I may not. And then after I get past that period, I'm good for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to get at least 7, honestly. Cause I wake up at 4:30 Tuesday through Thursday. I wake up at 4:30 to hit the gym before I go to work.
Okay.
And I'll try to be asleep or at least headed to sleep like 9:45 ish, so I can actually. Sometimes that don't actually happen. Sometimes it'd be more like 10:30, but I try to get 7, at least 7. But you know, if I get 6, you know, that's fine. But 4 or 5, I would hate myself. I couldn't do it.
I mean, there's been these multiple studies via sleep doctors saying like, you know, you're not at the average person doesn't really need 8 hours. I don't know that this is true or not. I'm not a sleep doctor, but I've seen a lot of places say that sleep is actually supposed to be whenever necessary for your body. And of course, that can vary between people, especially if you have clinical depression or anything like that. You're like, oh well, I'm sleeping 20 hours a day then, or other scenarios. Whether you're narcoleptic, whether you have like I have bouts of sleep paralysis. But yeah, all that to say, we got off topic.
Yeah.
this was supposed to. I was trying to stick with the album thing.
It's cool, man. I've been away for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Gotta catch up.
To Adam, is there any album in more recent time that you're like, this is a really strong project?
I have a few, honestly. I'm trying my best not to say Khruangbin. I'm really trying not to.
If that's who you got, man. If Coheed had a new album out, I'll probably be the same way. So
But
it's fine.
but this is why I'm gonna say Khruangbin. I might give you another one too, but just to offset. But so they're one of few artists that I listen to. Actually, they're the only artist that I listen to that legitimately every album that they make is better than the last one, and that's just so rare.
Yeah.
And their third album was like it's, to me, it's perfect. It's like I can listen to literally every single song on there and not skip. It's like ideal.
Okay.
And then another cool thing I like about it is there's three members of the band. There's a guitarist, a bass guitarist, and a drummer. It's interesting seeing how their albums like shift as far as like the focal point. Like, for example, this third album, it was very bass focused. So it's almost like she was like, and they sung more in this album too, because typically they don't really sing a lot in their albums, but there's like half the songs have lyrics. But anyway, so this album, a lot of the songs, if not all of them, is definitely bass driven, and then the guitar is kind of like in the background, kind of supporting the bass guitar, which in most bands is the opposite. Typically the bass is in the background playing some boring bass line, and the guitarist gets all the shine, But in this album they reversed that, and it's really I really I appreciate that. So that's one for me. If somebody else want to answer, I can think of another one.
I have a quick question for you. So the Khruangbin, you said typically at least half of their albums have lyrics, and the other half is.
Well, no, I'm saying this album specifically, like half the songs have lyrics.
Oh, got you.
Most of the albums, it'd be like 2 songs have lyrics.
I actually really like that.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah, and they actually have one on this one in Spanish, which this is my favorite one actually, because like the bassist I was talking about, I don't know her actual heritage
in the background,
but she's Hispanic in some way or another. I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
I think her mother is Mexican. I think she's like Mexican and white, I think.
Got you.
But
dope.
Yeah.
I think for me, one that was really strong for me last year is called The Healers, The Last Chapter. It's like a 10th anniversary, I believe, project by this group out of South Africa, maybe. I can't remember where exactly they're from, but it's called it's a duo called Black Motion. And so it's an Afrobeat group. I've been getting more into Afrobeats over the past couple years. And so really, really strong project. And because it's Afrobeat, the album has 41 tracks.
Wow.
Okay. Are they long tracks, or are they like, a minute and a half?
On average between actually, yeah, some of these are pretty long.
12 minutes.
No, I mean, I think the longest track is like 7.
Okay.
Yeah, the longest track is 8. The longest track is 8 minutes. Correction, 9. The longest track is 9 minutes. The shortest track is like 2.5.
Yeah, they have a lot to say.
Yeah, man.
but I believe they're both DJs, but one of them is also a percussionist.
Okay.
And so like the music is very driving, and as with Afrobeat, it's just being another version of house music. Some of them have amazing vocals on them. It's just a really, really good project.
That's dope. Yeah, you know what I've learned? Well what I've realized as well is most of the dope, most of the dope music that I've listened to as of late have come from you guys, have come from other people, and not me finding it on my own.
that's that's good though.
Nah, man, it's like, yo, turn off that top 40, son. Turn that top 40 off.
Yeah.
I
have to agree with that one.
I think I don't know if I should speak too much. I won't speak too much about it because it's actually a submission that I did for one of our future audio files, but the Black Pumas joint is like, which I got from a coworker of mine. Him and I share ideas on different music, so I'll give him an album, he'll give me an album, and that one is from start to finish solid, man. Solid vocals, solid like musicianship. I was surprised. I looked at him like, yo, you like this shit?
Yeah, that's funny. I first heard them at work of all places. You know how obviously places have audio systems, whatever. And the song was playing. I was like, who is this? So I Shazammed it, whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna look them up. And I looked them up, listened to the album. Like, it's good. Like, it's right up my alley with that whole like soul, soul modern rock. It's like soul rock, kind of like, you know, the Black Keys a little bit. Kind of in that lane. But the vocalist, man, he's
I thought of you as soon as I submitted that, and I was like, this shit is just solid. But Adam's about to flip his shit.
I think they got a Tiny Desk concert. I haven't watched it, but I saw that. Saw it on there. I'm sure it's good.
I'm looking forward to indulging because I'm not familiar. So in regards to this though, how many skips is an album allowed to have to still be considered good?
That's a good question.
It is. It really is.
In my world, oh no, go ahead.
No, I think the first thing I'm gonna say is I think you have to consider how many songs are on the album. Because like you said, that one album you said has 41 tracks. I feel like it can be 10 bad songs on there and it's still, you know, it's
still 2 albums at that point.
Yeah.
Or 3 these days.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, if you got Kanye working on that 6-7 joint album, then
Oh yeah. But
yeah, I'm with you on that. I think on average, if we had to give it like a ratio, like 1 bad song for every 5 good songs.
Okay, I can see that. So like for me, I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna just base it off of real life albums. Like, so one of my favorite albums is Illmatic. And it has 10 tracks, but only 9 of them are actual songs. I think the first one is like a intro or whatever.
Intro.
And so it's 9 songs on it. That might not have been a good idea. That's not a good example because all 9 of them are good. So
they are. I was about to say they're all good.
The Black Album by Jay-Z. There's to me, that's a great album, but I feel like there's maybe 2 songs on there that I could do without. Not that they're bad, but it's kind of like they don't like I never really saw the appeal in 99 Problems. Like it just it's like that song just never did anything for me. So like if that song wasn't on the Black Album, it would still be an awesome album to me. And I think that album has like maybe 12 or 13 songs, which is pretty average. But I'm gonna say 2. I think if the album has like 12 songs, if 2 of them are bad, then I'm okay with that.
Which makes my ratio correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was thinking about like how much I love Coheed projects. It's rare that I don't like more than 2 songs. And the average album is not maybe around 9-10 tracks.
Yeah.
On a Coheed album, Josh, stop it. Stop it, Josh. There are more. There are more. They're like 4. They're like 4.
No, there aren't.
There are.
You listen to one album, and that album, top to bottom, fantastic in my opinion. Now,
got you.
And now we can agree to disagree on this by all means.
I'm just messing.
Because because whatever her homegirl's name was, you know, let me tell you
Aaron
how.
Moore.
Yeah,
who?
yeah.
What'd you say,
Marin.
Sarah?
Maren Morris.
Maren Morris. Right.
Maren Morris.
I'm gonna forget her name again before this podcast is over. Because immediately once we record the episode, exiled all of that shit from my system.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
But no, even like with a like a Lupe, you take a what was it? I can't think right now. Sorry for snapping in the mic again. If you take the Cool, I don't know. I was the whatchamacallit had to grow on me. Hello, goodbye.
I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It just for me, it was just sonically just kind of hard to listen to. But
I can
over
see that. I
time,
can see that.
over time, it was okay. Like, you know, I got the message. Yeah.
In real life, I don't know that I was on Food and Liquor. I don't know that I was the biggest fan of the Cool.
I wasn't either. I didn't care for the Cool until the Cool came out.
And then I
went back like, oh, this is because it just made it make more sense. Because before the Cool came out, it was just random. I'm like, I don't get the story. I mean, it's a cool story, but I'm not
resonating. Yeah.
But then when the Cool came out and he painted even a bigger picture, that song, it then made sense.
Completely agree with that.
Yeah.
For me, let's see, I don't know if I have a specific album in mind. I was gonna do the Coheed and Cambria ones, but Josh already. All right, I had to say one more comment. That fucking Maren Morris joke you did was really good. It was really good, Josh. It was perfectly timed, and I had to get you back. All right. My thing is, man, if there are some skips that I don't like, if the rest of the project overall still gives me that good feeling, if it still like moves me, then I can stick with it. I guess like if I had to give a ratio, I don't want to say half. It's got to be, I guess maybe like 3/4 of the album is still like moves me in the same way. If they're like, I guess, cohesive enough in that it gives me that same feel of like, yo, I can still listen to these same songs and get the same vibe, like, you know, a year down the road that I got when I first listened to it, then I'm good with the skips. But that's kind of how I go.
On a 12-track album, you can give 3.
I can give 3, yeah, like 3 or 4-ish. But the rest of it's gotta hit me. That's kind of how I go with it. Like if I can listen to this album a year or 2 later, and it still gives me that same like excitement or vibe that I got when I first peeled the CD wrapping back, then I'm sold on it. But that's not. I feel like that's a little rare. You know.
I mean,
at least nowadays it feels like, or maybe it's just the fucking music that I'm listening to.
I mean, depending on the genre in question, this era has almost kind of made I'm not saying personal perspective, I'm saying probably to general populace, has made albums less important for you to have an entire project that's good.
So I guess they don't care like there's not as much of a focus on cohesiveness.
Yeah, and it depends on the genre. It depends on the genre and the artist in question. Because I remember, who was I talking to? I was talking to one an old college student, and he said somebody was his favorite artist, and I said, "Tell me an album that's good start to finish," and he couldn't do it. And I was like, and the point I was trying to make was, I was like, they don't have a good album though. And he was like, "What are you talking about? They got this, they got that." And I said, "Name an album that's good. Name an album that you don't have any skips on."
Yeah,
and he couldn't do it.
Yeah, they put all their focus on like the singles and the hits,
right?
Which I mean, I guess I mean, from a label standpoint, I get that, but as an artist, I wouldn't want that.
Because
Like,
everything can't be made in that format.
yeah, because then the whole album's just gonna sound the same. Like, that makes me think. Actually, a submission that I made on audio files as well. We haven't discussed it yet, but the big hope it's not a spoiler, but I guess the Big Pun album that I put on there. Like for me, the reason why that album is significant to me, is that's the album with his probably his biggest hit was
Don't want to be a player.
yeah.
I don't wanna be- yeah.
So for me, that was my first introduction to him, and I like, and it was it was a huge song at the time,
Right.
And, it's a classic single, and
Joe.
yeah. So like when I heard it, when I heard the album, I was like, this sounds nothing like that.
You realize pun was hard.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So that's what I respect so much about that album is like, man, this dude like was
Multi-syllable rhymer.
Yeah, this dude can rap for real.
Yes.
And like
Man.
a lot of people, and I heard people say that, but I'm like, don't want to be a player, dude. Like what? So then when I heard that, then when I finally listened to that album, I was like, okay, now I get it. But
Right.
these days, everybody just, like I said, they just focus on the hits, and then they try to do the same thing on the album, and then everything just sounds the same. It's like it's just, and I'm not saying every artist does that. I'm just talking about like the big names, because like for me, there's been times when I've tried to listen to an artist that a big artist that everybody loves. I'll listen to the album just to say that I did, because there's times when like people are praising an artist, like say like Drake. People are praising Drake and like, okay, I'm gonna listen to the album, and then I'll listen to it. I'm like, I'm not seeing the appeal.
Right.
And I'm not even talking about Drake of today. I'm talking about back in like 2011, 2012 when
Like
he was
really hype Drake
when he was first blowing up. So I gave him a fair shot, and I just like, I'm not saying he's bad, but he's just not for me.
I'm sick of the nasally auto tune.
Yeah. His voice is kind of annoying sometimes. But
it seems like we're just in that Drake era, and we've been in it for a while. I'm actually a
15
fan,
years.
but I'm a fan, but I could definitely say that like when I've listened to a full album, I didn't like, not every instance, but for the most part, I didn't feel that cohesiveness that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Or like, and it sounds like a lot of his songs sound very similar. They're like good. I like the rhyme scheme. So on a good bit of them, I think he can rap for sure. There's still some skepticism about who's writing this and that, who's who's contributing, what have you. That's a part of it. But for the most part, I appreciate him. But for sure, I'm feeling the same way of like, this shit is like, maybe he just knows that we're in Drake era, so he's like, I'm gonna go for that again, and I'm gonna go for that again. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know if that allows for a whole lot of creativity, I guess, but.
So I'm gonna take this as an opportunity to troll for all of the wonderful women in my life that tried to come after me when Adam went after Beyonce. Drake is trash. Drake has always been trash.
Dang.
Y'all love Drake because y'all love light skins. That's it.
And because of that, I got a comment. Because of that, I got a comment. I'm just like
I've never gotten the appeal of Drake, to be completely honest. I'm like, yo, if you want Drake, you can just rap through a kazoo and you'll have the exact same effect.
I know this fool didn't bring some Dr. Seuss shit. Like Cindy Lou Who rapping a kazoo.
You'll have the same effect if you took a kazoo and you just you just say, call me through my cell phone on the kazoo. It's the same thing.
Like,
all right, hold on. We gonna admit that, like, hold on, man. The dude is not trash. I'm no number one fan. I'm not trying to get no pussy off of this episode. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. But the dude is not trash. Is a tad bit harsh. All right.
Yeah. Personally, I don't I don't have any animosity. I don't think Josh
I don't
has
have any
any
animosity
Yeah, no,
toward
no,
him.
no.
but
I don't know the dude.
Yeah, I don't have anything against Drake. I think his music. I honestly think it's necessary. Actually, I think it's in the right setting. Like if I'm out at a bar,
Mm-hmm.
club, and Drake comes on, I'm not going to be upset at that because he makes music for that scene, in my
Sure.
opinion. So that you know, I think every generation has a Drake type figure that's
Absolutely.
like. So
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, man, like I saw some I think it was it Hip Hop DX? It was one of the hip hop pages, and some young lady described Drake as a lyricist, and that just blew my mind. And I'm like, no, he's not. He's not. And that's not a bad thing. Like there's plenty of artists out there that's just not their lane. Like he's not
He's
not a
have to be.
wordsmith. Yeah. It's
Because
just
go ahead. I'm sorry.
he's a pop star, and it's nothing wrong with that either. It's just I think people confuse his streams and his record sales with
Talent.
with lyric. Yeah, I'm not gonna say talent.
No,
but,
no, he is talented. I'm joking.
but more so, they confuse his record sales with lyrical
Prowess.
Yes,
yes.
And like it's like, but like Aaron was saying, like we don't know who's writing stuff. I mean, but what we do know is we do know he has the team. Every big star has a team. Beyonce has a team, and he has a good team that's helped him become, you know, the most celebrated artist of our generation for sure. You know, people compare him with other people. Yeah.
He shouldn't be compared to. But I can say that.
I think. I mean, it's like I honestly get the comparisons. I get the because if you just look at the numbers, just not the talent or anything, just look at the numbers. I mean, it is comparable, like the streams, record sales,
sure.
all that.
Sure.
But that's about it. You know, I'm not gonna compare him to Michael Jackson on a skill level. But if you look at the numbers, and even if you look at the numbers, Michael Jackson, how many albums did Thriller sell? Like 30 something million or something.
I don't remember the actual number.
Yeah, I mean, it still sell albums to this day.
Ain't you supposed to be Googling?
Oh shoot!
Like people,
That's me.
like
I guess
what's crazy is people are still buying Thriller. Like
to this day. To this day.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So, I don't know.
To this day.
Shout out to Deontay Wilder because that
that's
should,
hilarious.
that should live on forever.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Again, I'm just trolling.
Yeah.
I don't remember the phrase, but I don't have any whatever in this game. In the same way I didn't have it toward the Beyonce conversation. I was just there to offer other perspective, which y'all did toward this.
And I will admit I did go a little bit overboard on Beyonce. After listening to it, I'm like, okay.
Can I tell you how many angry calls I got? How many calls of threatening to no longer listen to the podcast of the 35 people that listen to this podcast? I was like, yo, come on now.
So this would be the portion that they would skip on the album, like that. That episode.
This is the track you skip. Because I was also like, wait a minute. Are you calling me just to bring up the gripe of what was said? Because this is where nuanced conversation kicks in. Because I didn't defend Beyonce, but I defended you.
Yeah, you did.
Also by saying that Beyonce ain't the issue. Usually it's her fans. You're doing the thing that I said fans do, where y'all fight tooth nail and elbow for this woman that ain't blinking towards you. But
yeah, I thought you challenged him in a
challenge the same
healthy
because
way.
I was just like, it's not
In a healthy
for
way.
us.
Yeah.
We're not the audience. In the same way, to a good degree, I don't think we're Drake's audience either.
Nah. I think you provided a good level of opposition.
But here's the thing. I'm fine with it. I love that people call me about it. That lets me know you were listening, which I want you to do. I also want you to write that shit up so that we can actually have.
Yes,
man.
I would love to respond to that, criticism. Like I would have liked to,
and that's why I said write
explain
it up.
and we can.
Send a
Yeah,
recording
yo.
of your face.
I
We'll
didn't even
play
know
it
you
on
were
the
getting
podcast.
calls and stuff.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yo.
If you
DM.
record a video of your responses, we'll put the shit on the podcast and we'll respond to it in real time. We want listener letters. We
Yeah.
want all of that. That helps us.
Yeah. Or if you're lazier
Yeah.
than that, then just send a tweet, send a DM or tweet, something easy like that. We will
Please.
respond.
We
You are
will.
capable of doing this, and we are capable of responding.
Like what only thing I think we ever didn't respond to was I think Aaron said something toward the French, and Marcus's girl was like, but the French gave up in every war. And I was like, I'm not researching that. And so otherwise,
Yeah.
now y'all start challenging some stuff on us because you actually know facts. I will do more research. That was
yeah. Definitely
But-
gotta come hard.
But yo, I agree with everything said toward the album, saying that I think skips are fine. I just can't do too many. I think one for every 5 tracks is reasonable.
You know what? You have a good point there. I mean, so we all agree on that. And I was just thinking, like, maybe where the skips are down the line, like throughout the album. If I'm heading towards the end of the album and it's feeling good, and then it's like 2 or 3 skips right towards the end, that could kind of like mess up the tone that was set.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Our
I
album
want
has to have flow.
I want to finish off strong. Yeah. So I
an
think
album has to have ebb and flow.
yeah, when you have too many, it gives it it's more of a chance of it being like, like too many and placed in the wrong part. Like it just placed incorrectly.
But then you can get then you get unfortunate circumstances like a Life of Pablo, where the best song on the album is the first song on the album, and then the rest of it just turns into utter fecal matter.
Yo, which was number 1, by the way? Yo, remind me, which was the first song?
Ultralight Beam.
Oh, word. Honestly, and that song, I love that song so much because of Chance's verse.
Yes.
I'm being completely honest.
It's really Chance. I do enjoy Kelly Price's part
and
too.
The singing. Yeah.
The Dream I could actually do without. I get that he's the chorus. I'm trying to be my friend.
You know what I'm thinking? Yo, that 30 hours joint is hot. It'd be nice if 3 Stacks was in more of it instead of towards the end.
I mean, maybe I was just so disappointed by the majority of the album. I don't even remember that.
Nah, I got you.
To the point where I've never listened to another. I've never listened to another Kanye project after that because I was so angry.
Yeah, I'm about to smack the mic.
I think the last one I listened to was the last one I listened to was the one with all the weird production on it. I think it was one prior.
Poopity School?
No, it's like I'm a God.
My
Jesus.
Yeezus.
Or Yeezus.
No,
Yeezus.
That's that one. That's
Because
the last one.
Because On Site was on there. That song is so harsh. That On Site song, like the production is so
most of the production on
harsh,
Yeezus
man.
is harsh though.
But it was purposeful, of course.
Yeah.
But like, I think that was more of like so he can play it in a tour and like put all kinds of lights and visual production to it. That's what it felt like to me. Like, this is made for visual production on tour.
Interesting perspective.
Yeah. Thinking ahead.
Well, we're gonna jump over. We just talking about senses, right? Now we is the way I was trying to take this. So we talked about that sense of hearing and what that can do for the body. I want to jump between one place and then the place that we intended, right? We kind of talk about visuals a lot, right? Something that is becoming more and more prevalent inside this, and this could be a controversial subject and all of that. Of course, this is not spoken as shame toward anyone or really any kind of judgment, but just getting your perspective on it. How do y'all feel about how regular plastic surgery has become in society?
That's a good question. I actually talk about that a lot with Kirsten. For me, like my sentiments is like I feel like it's unfortunate that people feel like they have to permanently change their God-given body, face, whatever. I think that's the best word for it, is unfortunate, because like for me, I could never imagine doing that. unless it was like, say I got into a car accident and half my face burned off, like, okay, well that's different. But like, and then there's people that do it because some famous person that they follow, they did it, and then they want to look like them, and you know, it's like, I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's just unfortunate. And then one can say, well, people do that because of the beauty standards. You know, some people might say, well, men, you know, like this, men require this, you know, men, you know, prefer this look, so we're gonna try to look like that. And then there's a pressure of, you know, there's all this pressure. And I think of the song, go back music. That there's this song by J. Cole called "Crooked Smile," and he's essentially kind of saying the same thing. How there's like a societal pressure for women to look a certain way, and he's saying you ain't got to do that, essentially. And I'm sure that's easier said than done. You know, I'm not a woman, so I don't know what that pressure to be beautiful is.
Because men get away with looking like kneecap skin and and because a lot of times, you know, you see in some of these like rom-coms and situations, you're like, this dude is shaped like a water bottle. And he somehow
what's that one?
Yeah, I think I Love You, Man. I think that one, the guy, the Irish, I think he's Irish. And I think he's trying to get with like Rashida Jones, I think. Well, I might be mixing like two different movies up, but
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it's just like the standards of that, the psychological traumas that, you know, everyday society kind of puts you in to tell you what to care about. And I'm not even saying that's purely exclusive to, purely exclusive to cis females, because that does oftentimes be a part of the conversation. The trans experience is a whole nother thing, because you're talking about people who are trying to create the image of the person that they truly feel that they are.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't necessarily say that's an unfortunate thing in their circumstances.
Yeah, I agree with that. To make that clear, I'm not talking about trans people.
No, I know we're purely talking about cis people. I'm just saying it because my brain is racing. And I also don't mean that towards only cis women, because dudes out here getting titty and calf implants too.
Yeah, it's dudes getting like liposuction and shit like that. Yeah,
and I know it's usually to be more appealing, and because you don't want to hit a gym and, you know, do your box jumps and shit to get your calves to look like something. But I'm also like, there's so many people in the world. Somebody gonna like you for the way that you look. Or don't care about looks to the point that as long as you're not a shitty person, you gonna find somebody that you also find attractive.
Yeah, it might be a little harder to find, but no, I completely agree with that. Like, I've made this point too. Like man, like if you go to Walmart and you see the people who married, like this person got somebody, then you should be good. Like,
yo, some of the places that I've traveled, I've gone, wow, all of you are so, and I and it's gonna sound mad judgmental, and like I have high self-esteem or something, which I don't. But you ever just stand somewhere and go, is it just me, or is everyone wildly mediocre?
Exceptionally homely.
which is just like all of y'all are together. And there was one part of Kansas that I was in that I was like, there's absurd amount of there's a, not absurd, but there's a weird dynamic of interracial relationships happening in front of me that I can't quite that I can't quite put my finger on, of like, oh, that's just the environment, or there's some sort of fetishization happening.
That's definitely something going on. That's definitely something that's going on that I've noticed on Instagram.
Yeah, that's one dynamic that I'm like, this is weird.
Yo,
But
really
then I
quick.
look at
Oh no, go ahead. Go finish your thought. My bad. I don't want to.
but then you look at it and you're like, the attractivity in this relationship is also off.
Yeah.
Which makes me go, there has to be some level of fetishization happening in here. And y'all are just making incredibly mediocre children that are gonna keep procreating. And I'm a little worried about the population that's coming out of this environment.
Yeah, the ratio is about to be wildly off.
Well, they say in like 2050, they say that black, I'm not even saying black, they say that non-white people will be the majority.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's definitely something to that.
Sure. And I don't care about interracial relationships and like them. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's the root of it.
Yeah.
Love who you love. That
Correct.
fetishization shit, that's where I find the issue.
Yeah.
Yo, speak.
Go ahead,
yo,
go
yeah.
ahead.
I was gonna say, speak on that in regards to Instagram, man, because I missed that. I
right.
missed that that section of like I'm sure it's a thing for sure. I'm not like this. I'm not discrediting it in any way or disagreeing.
Mhm.
I've seemed to have missed that.
So this is what I've noticed. There's a lot. Okay, so let me start by saying this so it doesn't come off creepy. So I am a photographer, and in that hobby, I guess, I do a lot of portrait work, and a lot of times if I'm trying to find somebody to shoot, I resort to Instagram because there's a lot of people in there that wants their pictures taken. There's people that are models as a hobby. There's people that are models, kind of semi-professional. So, there's that world. So I'll look for people on Instagram, and so many times you'll find these young women. Obviously in this situation, I'm talking about non-black, so white, Asian, Hispanic. You'll see a lot of these young, mid-20 women have black boyfriends, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But it's like, all of y'all though, like everybody, and it's just like, it's just interesting. And it's like, in my theory, there's no proof to this. There's no evidence, but my theory, honestly, is Kim Kardashian. I truly believe that, or I'm gonna say the Kardashian family. I really believe that they made it popular to date black men, because Kim Kardashian, she also, even though black women has looked like this since forever, but she also made it popular for everybody wants a big booty now. Everybody wants to be thick with 2 C's. It's like I swear, like ever since Kim Kardashian like kind of like blew up on the scene, everybody's in the gym doing squats 365 days a year now. Like everybody's going for that look now. And I think it's just a whole. I truly believe the Kardashian family has influenced non-black women to go after a certain look that everybody's trying to achieve now. The full lips, the big hips,
and every stance, like that stance where you make your butt prominent in the picture.
Yeah,
like the stances are incredible. How like what they can do for editing, make things seem a certain way.
Phenotypical features that are organic to black women, Kim Kardashian is one factor that has made that more appealing to the general masses, right? I have some slight pushback just because there's historical examples like Sarah Bartman, where a lot of those old school Victorian dresses that had the bump.
Oh yeah, way back.
That was built to display the hips that were natural to African and Caribbean women who were serving in more subservient roles, because that was seen as big hips make more babies, etc., all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man, they've been breaking their fucking ribs and those fucking things since the Victorian age. It's crazy to think about.
Right, and there's other kind of things that women have just been kind of forced through. You can get into geisha culture of of petite, young, and small features being what's sought out after that. And of course, I only know a microcosm of information. So if you want to challenge me, please do. I'm fine with that.
No, I agree with you.
I'm speaking to
Everybody, yeah.
listeners, listeners, especially where like they would from what I've read anyway, they would break geishas' feet so that they wouldn't grow beyond a certain size.
Damn. If that's true, that is fucking horrific, yo.
And it's just that kind of thing.
Like the shoes they wore, like it
yeah,
like you said, it did something to their feet where you know.
That was it was either that thing of, you know, like too small of shoes that, you know, won't let you grow outside of them, or like literally like breaking their feet, and so that when they heal, they can only heal so much.
Yeah.
Well, I've broken some of my toes for that very not because I'm a geisha. I was training to be a geisha, but
I was like, yo, when was this?
I was wearing too tight of shoes, and they were like maybe a half size small, and I broke like 2 or 3 of my toes. And that shit. So I know how that shit feels, and
wow,
you know, fucking my heart bleeds for the geishas, yo. Damn, I gotta say I did not know that, but it makes sense.
There's a Richard Pryor joke where he was like, if you want to get somebody to, if police officers, if they want to get somebody to talk, just give them some shoes that's too small, and they'll start talking eventually. Of course, he presented it a lot funnier than that, but it just made me think of that.
I remember the bit. Yeah. But yeah, I forget the original point I was even making inside of this. Oh, we were talking about plastic surgery.
Yes,
I agree with that. That there's too many examples of this being done for vanity reasons, in which if it's a self-esteem thing, I'm not even trying to poo-poo on that. I do go, if it's a self-esteem thing and you feel like going under the knife or getting some kind of injection or whatnot is the only way to do it, then let's look at some different approaches, because there could be healthier things. There was a person in my life at one point who did not care for her breasts, so she got her breasts augmented, and in the middle of her doing her job, her titty busted open.
Damn, that sucks. What was her job? If it's not,
what
was her job?
I'll leave that alone.
Okay,
because I don't want to indicate too much. Okay. But yeah, in the middle of it's a physically demanding job. In the middle of her doing her physical activity, she lifted her arm.
FedEx warehouse.
She lifted her arm, and her her under boob broke.
That sucks.
And so it's stuff like that where I'm like, is that worth it long term?
Yeah, man.
But you know, I got plenty of people in my life that, you know, they got some augmentation, looks good on them, good on you, kudos to you, cool. But just want people to, you know, live. If that's good for your psyche, go ahead for it. But what else are you doing?
I repeat those sentiments completely, man. Like, especially that last statement is like, I just wish they were able to. I feel like it's easy when you're in a certain state of like, let's say like the words you brought, like low self-esteem in that moment or insecurity or whatever. It's easy to want to just jump out and do something. I wish and make like what might be considered a brash decision. Mm-hmm. Like from that state, it just doesn't allow for clarity, I feel like. And I'm saying that like from my own perspective of like making the same mistakes plenty of times in my life. But like, I just wish that was a thing that didn't feel so irreversible. And it's not irreversible, but the more surgery they do, if you realize you don't like it, then it fucks it up worse, in my opinion. It makes it more likely to be harmed medically in some way. It just seems like once you go down that rabbit hole, it just keeps going. Now, I too know some people who have gotten 1 or 2 surgeries just to like, you know, a nip and a tuck here and there. and they seem to be fine with it. Like, didn't get any more, and they seem to be fine. More power to you, but so I guess all in all, yeah, more power to you. But I wish it was a thing where you could, depending on what you really wanted, you could realize ahead of time, oh shit, I'm actually not gonna get that from this. And it's before you do something that seems so irreversible.
They may. Yeah.
But
who knows? I think more often than not that is the case.
I do want to say something really quick, by the way, that finish it up. I have a decent amount of experience with fake boobs. And they're still fucking great. Yeah, I've done just about every experiment you can on them, and they're pretty good, man. I won't lie. A tad bit
stiff.
What is the word? Yeah, definitely a tad bit stiff. Yeah, it's like you can only go so far with vegetarian or vegan meat. It's not gonna have the same texture as the real stuff. This is, you know what I'm saying? So
that's fucking hilarious.
It doesn't matter how it doesn't matter what way you go about nibbling. It doesn't matter. So I do want to say that I've had experience and I've tried just about every experiment, and it's just not quite the same. But it's good enough. It's damn sure good enough.
Aaron, that is one of the best imagery metaphors that you've said in the history of this podcast. I just want to make sure I give you your just due kudos.
Thanks, man. I had 2 weeks. Off to come up with it. Right?
So let's jump to another sense. Food. So I got a proposition to you, right? And now let me make sure, because I wrote this down. I want to make sure I say it right. So you got two choices, right? And sorry if it sounds like I'm reading audience, because I am. You'll be all right. Choice A: you only can eat food for the rest of your life. You can only eat food that you've had before. Or choice B: you can only eat new food for the rest of your life, and you can never repeat anything.
Okay, when I first read this, my first thought that hit me was, easy, I'll take the latter. I'll eat the new food. And you said that I can only eat once?
Yeah.
Each time you're trying new food?
Every time you're trying new food, and you can never have whatever you've had again.
Got you. So my first thought was the latter, because I'd be more likely, I don't want to use the word force, but for lack of a better word, it would force me to be really present and appreciate the ambiance and everything with that new meal. And then I was like, well, what if all of it is trash? my first thought was like, easy, the latter. Like I will appreciate everything about the texture, the taste, and everything. But if each one of those fucking dishes suck, I'll easily go back to a bag of Oreos. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I might, because of the fact that it could literally suck. And I don't know. I know there's studies and shit where like the more you eat something, the more you try something, it grows on you, and eventually you just end up liking it.
An acquired taste.
That's the thing. That's not
acquired taste.
But
because that's what I'm saying. Get into that too. I don't even have that angle. I'm trying to like create loopholes and shit. I don't even have that angle now because it's all new and it could all suck. So I'm gonna have to go with the former.
That you'll go with like you'll never try something new again. You can only eat things that you've only had already.
Yes, mac and cheese is good enough to eat for an entire lifetime. It's good enough to eat for an entire lifetime, bro.
You're gonna need you're gonna need some plastic surgery because the newest person on my 600-pound life.
Yo, but I can also have smoothies. That means I can also have smoothies to kind of help regulate
you have choice again.
Yeah,
because you could choose between all things you've had. Now, if you've only had, a life of honey buns and biscuits,
yeah, it's game over. It's game over. You are your own hitman. So yeah, lastly, because I feel like I can maybe, there's still room to get creative because I've had all these things, but I haven't necessarily put them together in different concoctions to create what I might consider to be new. So
Mhm.
because of that level of creativity that I still feel I have, I'm going with the former.
Okay. Adam, how about you?
As intriguing as it sounds to have new food, but it's like I mean, I've had some pretty great food in my life, and
Mhm.
I think I would probably just stick to like
So what you know?
I mean, sometimes I've cooked things where like it was good enough that I cooked it the next day. Like so, like
Yeah.
it it takes me a long time to get over food. Like I could eat the same thing like constantly, and I'll be fine for a few months, honestly.
Mm.
Um,
I'm similar, bro. I'm the same.
so yeah, I guess we're giving you some boring answers here, but I'm gonna stick with the.
All right, Josh, give us some opposition. Come on.
It's because I had to unpack this really heavily. And so I'm gonna get way too deep on this. Please interrupt me at any point. With the new food, that's really appealing because I love to try things out. As long as it ain't beef, pork, or tomatoes, I'll try it.
And you have no idea if beef, pork, or tomatoes is going to be in each one of those new dishes that you try.
Yeah, no, I can make that as a requirement of, if it, let's say, because nothing is saying that
It's gonna be a surprise.
I don't know the food. It can be presented to me. I can get a menu every day that says these are your options, and
okay.
there's a new menu every day.
That changes things. Then
You slick. You see being slick, bro.
But no, I'm saying, but it's a thing of every day. Let's say this week I get 7 dishes, right? And I gotta pick one to come to me every day, or I gotta pick the load of dishes that's gonna come to me that day. And then every week after that, I'm getting new stuff. The issue with that is as much as there is new stuff, I think that there's a number of combinations and types of cuisine. Once I have naan, right, type of bread. Once I have naan, I can never have naan again. I can't get another variation of naan because I had naan. I can't be like, oh, today I'm getting regular. Tomorrow I'm going to have garlic naan. No, I had naan. It's the base of it. That's the fundamental issue with this.
Sounds like we're about to be unanimous decision here.
Most like it is. Because I'm like, if I have what was it? Yesterday I went and got some Palestinian food from this great place up north. So I get some dal and some chana masala and some
love it.
All of that. And well, my girl got chana masala. I can't eat it because there's tomatoes in it. But once you have that kind of thing, I think the only variation in it that could be presented is if the preparation of it is different.
Yeah. Okay. So you mean like baked versus grilled, or
like
fried,
baked versus grilled versus pan fried and all that kind of stuff? Because if that was the universal logic of otherwise, it could be like, oh, I got chicken today. That means I can never have chicken again, which ain't true.
Yeah, that'd be impossible.
Yeah, that'd be impossible. Right?
Yeah.
Because there's only so many ingredients of food that really exist. They're just made and prepared and et cetera in different ways. So by those means, that makes that more appealing. As far as things I've already had, I like shit the way I like it.
Yeah, same.
And so you're telling me like I love barbecue pizza. And you're telling me once I have
CC shit right there.
Oh no, I mean everybody has it now. CC's is some, come get this bacon mac and cheese pizza.
Yeah. See you later.
I secretly really love when they used to say that, man. So some people used to get pissed off, like,
I kind of miss that
at
place,
me, man. But like, it was a guilty pleasure of mine. I loved like just popping in, like
CC's was top notch mid-grade pizza.
Yeah, I mean, what was like $7-8?
It was like $6 for a pizza buffet, and I'm like, yeah,
Can't beat
I
that.
mean, and the brownies were solid. The brownies too, man.
Mhm.
Brownies.
Oh
was,
yeah.
and it was our meetup place before we went and caused some ruckus.
You can't go vandalize on an empty stomach.
Yeah, exactly.
Just admitting the crimes. The statute of limitations has passed.
Yeah,
Call back.
Great.
But yeah, I think in real life I could choose new dishes every day as long as the type of cuisine can't be infringed upon.
So I wonder how close that is to what I said. It like touches on what I said when I mentioned that I would do the former, like I would do that's all the food that I have had because I can get creative and try it in new ways. It allows for more creativity.
Sure, but how new are we talking? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is very true.
If you're like, oh, I want to use cinnamon instead of nutmeg, like that's not really new. But if you're like, oh, I want this Lebanese preparation of dal versus this Egyptian preparation of dal, that could be a very different thing. In the same way that like what's that that debate over jollof rice? Ghanaians make jollof very different than Nigerians make jollof. It is spicy rice, but it's a different approach to that spicy tomato rice.
Well, that's kind of I guess
I thought that would be allowed, like as long as it's not legitimately the same. So even if you change 3 ingredients, I feel like it's not the same dish.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah,
it's not the same dish, right?
Yeah. So I guess are you former or latter, Josh? When
I think I'm gonna go ladder. I think I can live with eating something new all the time because I have a general sense of sadness that lives with me every day, and so I could live with the sadness of knowing this is great and I'm never going to taste it again.
Very interesting insight. You sly fox. You provided some opposition. You sly fox.
Random shit. A fox ran past me in the middle of Lakeshore Drive yesterday. It was wild. I was like in the middle of the city.
Bro, I hadn't seen a fox except like since I left Indiana. That's where I like
in the middle of downtown Chicago, a fox ran past me.
That's wild, man. I used to see foxes chasing the chickens in the front yard all the time. You know? And it's like, man, you don't want to kill this thing. You try to like trap it and like you know, it's incredible. It's how they play with their prey. Like, you know, they could actually like be fast enough to catch the chicken or whatever, even though chickens are fast and like very quick. But it was just it was a fluidity like in which it would chase that, like it felt like, okay, you're just playing with it. This is like a game. This is a game for you. It's incredible. Yeah.
You think it's a game?
Yeah. It like that just hit me. It's like, man, this fucking thing is incredible, yo.
So on this topic of food, or we can jump to another sense. What's one dish you've had in your life that you're like that you know you've either had a lot or you are like, I wish I could taste that again?
Wait, so is there more to? So you said it wasn't one dish that we haven't had a lot
that blew your mind, and either you had it once and you're like, oh my God, I really want that again, or you have it so often and it blows your mind every time. Like both. Either or, if there's two different things, but like what's like at least one.
I got one. So there's this place in the part of town of Atlanta called Little 5 Points. There's a place called Govinda. It used to be Govinda. I think it's called Go Vegan now or something, or perhaps they even closed. Anyways, little hole in the wall. The ambiance was weird as shit. I remember that like that stood out was because Nat and I are sitting down, and you know, typically in this place, it's a small place in general. Maybe there's like 6 tables, and you walk past the tables, you get to the register, and there's like several you know, when you go to a diner or so and you have to like pick the cakes and pies through the glass. So there's like the separation. There used to be that separation in this place. And then the second time we went, there was no separation. So the table that we're sitting in is literally 6 inches from the cash register. And there's no music playing at the time. So I'm like, yo, you want to just sit down and like be a part of our conversation? The ambiance was so fucking weird, man. But like that juxtaposed with the deliciousness of the food, I have never had jackfruit that good in my life before. Other than that, ever. I don't know what about it. I mean, it was like some, and then we also had buffalo cauliflower, which I had never had it that good since either. The way it was seasoned, the texture of the bread, just everything was on point. And I just like, it stands out maybe because like the atmosphere was weird as shit, like an awkward moment where like, you can know the cashier is listening to our conversation, you know, it's like, but the food, I've never had it that good before. That was like maybe 3 years ago. So I would love to try that again. I don't know how they did it differently, but I've tried it in other capacities at different places, and it hasn't been that good since. So for sure, never had the jackfruit and the buffalo cauliflower. I've never had it as good as I had it at that place, man.
I love jackfruit.
And they've since closed, unfortunately. So
damn.
Sucks. Yeah, man.
Damn. So you know you're not getting it back.
I know I ain't getting it. But I also have that experience coupled with how fucking awkward the ambiance was. With like no music, you're having a conversation with your girl and you like looking up and the cashier just like, you know, like I know you heard us talking about, you know, what we did last weekend with so and so. Just fucking sit down and, you know. Anywho, yeah, that was like an easy one, man.
Yeah, man. For me, I have so many, but I guess the first one that came to mind was I think it was 2019. Me and Kirsten went to the great country of Canada, and we were in I think we were in Montreal, and there was this Venezuelan restaurant called a repera, I think repera, something like that. And they sell arepas, which is essentially it's a Venezuelan sandwich, is what it is. And that sandwich, it's like I forgot exactly what was in it, but I just remember it might have been some type of beef and some vegetables, and you know, it's kind of like a taco, I guess, but kind of almost in like a pita bread form. You know how pita bread kind of opens. You can put stuff in it. It was kind of, that's what it looked like. And it was so good. We went right back the next day. Like we went back the very next day, and actually,
that's awesome.
good food to make you be loyal.
Yeah. And what's funny is there's another story exactly like that. There's another foreign place. We were actually in Vietnam. It's so interesting.
Foreign too, so I feel you.
It's so interesting because we'll go to another country and then we'll eat cuisine from another country. It's like you would think
I see what you mean. Yeah,
you would think I'm about to say, and we ate Vietnamese food, and we did. But this specifically restaurant, it was called Sinbad, and it was like like a Turkish, maybe it was like somewhere in that region that you know, Sinbad should give you an idea. But and we had these. Like they were kind of like the same thing. They were like sandwiches, kind of stuffed in pita bread, honestly. And I think we went there 3 times. We went there 3 days in a row for lunch. Like you don't need to go anywhere else. Like let's just go here. And they had this seasoning that you can put on the sandwich. It was spicy, but it had a little bit of sweetness too. Man, it was just like if I ever go back to Vietnam, I'm going straight to that. That's gonna be the first place I go to.
I'm going to Vietnam. I'm hopefully remember this so I can ask.
Yeah,
same.
Nice.
Man. 3 days in a row.
Mine are pretty much all foreign too. But I agree with you that as soon as I recognize, oh, this is great, I won't even think about another place.
Yeah,
I'm completely loyal to you.
Yeah.
Same.
So first one. Durban, South Africa. It's the home of this dish. because I tried to go while we were in Johannesburg, and they were like, "Yeah, you're not gonna really find any good ones here." And so, much as I wanted to hop on that 8-hour train ride to Durban for this dish, it just didn't work out because I didn't have enough time. But it's called bunny chow.
Okay.
And what it is it's curry chicken or lamb in what looks like it's like a stew of curry chicken in a bread bowl, bones and all, that you're supposed to eat like a sandwich.
Bones and all.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to reiterate that one more time.
That's why I said because they were like, yeah, and so just pick it up and eat it. And I was like, but there's bones in there. I can like see them. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah. Yo, enjoy the crunch. Go ahead.
It's like you get to a bone, just get that juice off of there, toss to the side. But it was the best thing I had while I was there.
Okay.
And I only got it that one time. I don't even remember the name of the place we went, but was hanging out with some friends I had just made while we were out there who were from Johannesburg. But they were like, let's go to this place. We heard they got good bunny chow. Like, you should get it. I was like, and I love curry. I love chicken. I wonder if, because curries usually have tomatoes, I wonder if there was tomatoes in it, because I think I could still eat them at the time. I know I could. But yeah. That was one time in China. All of our meals were catered, or we went to restaurants, or we went to like some buffet places. Didn't know what the fuck I was eating.
China buffet.
90%+ of the time. But what they would do was, do you know what a lazy Susan is?
Nope.
Yes, the spinning thing. Yes.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like a rotating glass table on top of a regular table.
Okay, I know what I didn't know that's what they called it.
So they would bring out like 16 to 20 different dishes, put them on a lazy Susan, and you just get a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And again, didn't know what the fuck I was eating most of the time, but I remember one of them was little slices of beef tongue that was delicious, and this chicken soup that had the whole chicken in it. Because I remember like one person like scooped out a beak, like I scooped out some foot, like or one of the feet. And that shit was fucking delicious.
Almost glad I didn't have that experience.
Because you a vegetarian now, but
sound like you digging up a fucking chicken grave.
Yo, got no issues with it.
Yo, I'm trying to think of like places when I was overseas. Like, what, man? I do have a question.
French bakeries.
Oh yeah, I mean that's bro. When you a lot of that. I guess I wouldn't say as it's not the saying you get what you pay for doesn't apply as much there, because you can get really good French bread at a local store, at a local boulangerie, which like their bakeries, for fairly cheap. So you don't have to go to some high-end French restaurant to get the really good stuff, which is nice. So for that, you could eat cheese, bread, and fruit and wine all the fucking time, and you'll look just like a Frenchie, and like actually eat decently. But I definitely, in Barcelona, we went to a couple restaurants, and there's some green peppers. What are they? They're not shit. Can I remember? Start with an S. What is it called?
Shishito?
Shishito. We were in Barcelona, and we were coming from this really cool, this really big park. They had like a what is it? Losing my words. Greenhouse. They had a big green. It was known for a big greenhouse there. It's like really cool. And we're on our way back, and we stopped in this little hole in the wall. Once again, I love that. This little hole in the wall. And they had this. Say it again. What's the name?
Shishito peppers.
Shishito peppers. Thank you. And it was some of the best shishito peppers I've ever had. I don't know if it was just because of the way that place made them, or they just happened to get a fresher variety, there. But in Barcelona, by far, that place, it was incredible. It was the best shishito pepper I've ever had. And it was like properly salted too, like properly seasoned. Are
those hot peppers, or like are they like
not really, barely?
Yeah,
they have a bit of a spice to them, but
They're like
just super
a pretty
flavorful.
mild chili. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Word.
rich in flavor, and the thing is, you can eat a lot of them and not get full, which is what I like. So
Mhm.
it's like a really good appetizer if you're gonna have a big entree. You know, just to kind of get a little kick in the back of the in the back of the throat. I do have a quick question for you guys in regards to this topic, though.
Sure.
So since we're on the topic of like really good foods, is there a place now, or like let's say in the last few years, or some place that you still go now that you go every week, or was there a time and let's say in the last 3 to 5 years where you would go to this place once a week because you liked it so much and it was like fairly local? It could be a train ride to Chicago, it could be in Miller, could be it could be in Michigan if you drive there or whatever. What is a place that you've gone to once a week that you loved that much? And what did you get?
I don't know that it was once a week, but a place that I would frequent pretty often, especially if I had late nights, is called Taqueria y Toto Nilco. It's a place out on shout out to them, the homie Esteban, who rides real strong for me. It's a taco joint out in
Is that in Pilsen?
Pilsen, yeah.
I think you took me there years ago. I don't even know if you recall that, but yeah, it was great. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So this is Chicago. It's Chicago.
Yeah, it's in Chicago. It's in the neighborhood of Pilsen, off of 16th and Blue Island. Anybody that's trying to go check it out because COVID times, they need business. Go get you some dope. Go get you some great tacos. I would get chicken and fish tacos. The chicken tacos would be like running over, and the fish tacos is probably the only time I really eat tilapia because I don't really fuck with tilapia like that. But they're so fucking good. Like the breading and they got this great pepper sauce that you just put on fucking everything. And chipotle sauce that they put on the fish tacos that I get extra of. They give you fresh limes to squeeze over all your stuff.
You always got to get extra sauce. It's just it's necessary to me.
Yes, I agree with you.
Don't be so skimpy on the motherfucking sauce. Give me my fair share, yo. You know what I'm saying? Give me this. I want that shit dripping. My burgers need to be dripping.
They ain't all that should be dripping, you know what I'm saying? But no, that's my joint right there. That I told them straight up. I was like, "Yo, y'all stay great. I'm loyal."
Yeah.
I walk in and he's like, we have conversations now. Like I don't get to go as often as I used to, but like I walk in like, "Yo, Esteban, what's going on?" And he's like, "Hey man, how's your family? How you doing?" We have full out conversations now. Like, yeah,
that's really, really cool.
Yeah. And for me, I know we're rapping, but for me, it's actually also a taco place. It's actually out in Portage. It's called JC Bocatas. And I think they took over like what I think used to be like a Checkers. They took over like an old Checkers building.
It's off of Highway 6, right?
Yep, right next to Coles.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's funny because I'm not saying I have full conversation with that guy, but he definitely knows who I am because I go. At one point, I was going weekly. I don't go as much now, but yeah, I typically before I was getting the steak fajita tacos, which they actually aren't even on the menu, but I know they exist. So most people don't even know they even exist. But since I've been trying to eat a little bit better, I started getting the not that this is that much better, but I started getting the chorizo and potato taco. But that one isn't full of cheese like the steak fajita taco is. So, but I didn't realize they would be so good. To me, they're almost probably better than the steak fajita tacos because that potato is just like it's just an interesting thing to put in a taco.
Yo, potato and tacos is great.
Yeah,
they used to be a place over by Edison that did that when I was a kid. By Edison Middle School, and I was like, I never knew potatoes could go on tacos, and this is a fantastic.
I never would have thought that, and I always get the sauce with it that actually doesn't even come with the tacos, but I just know the ins and outs of this place. But it's like a
that's the story I wanted to hear. That's why I asked the question because I love that detail.
Yeah, so I always get this. It's like it's a mojo mayo essentially. It's like I don't even know what mojo is, but whatever it is, because I think you typically get it with the fried yuca, and you dip like the yuca in it.
Mm.
But I always get that and put it on my tacos. But I have one quick story about how cool the owner is. So during COVID, there was times when they just wouldn't be open. Like you wouldn't know until you pulled up. And there was a time like we pulled up to the door, and he was there, but they were closed. I guess he might have been doing some, who knows, but they, business owner stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw me. He's like, hey, we're closed. Sorry. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I come back the next day, and he actually gives me a free taco because I showed up and they weren't open. So he just gave me a free taco. And I didn't ask for one. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't even mind that they, like it wasn't a big deal. I was like, whatever. But he was cool enough to give me a free taco. I'm like, yeah, thanks.
And that's just good customer service. Some
Yeah,
people
man.
don't really get that. Now we're talking about right now, but like pre-COVID shit.
Yeah.
Aaron, I'm starting to let you go. It just made me think
It's all
about
good. Yeah, do your
bad
thing.
customer service thing of a small business. And this, if you changed, great. I'm speaking toward the past version of you before you try to like not sponsor us or something like that. As a business in Miller. But the juice bar in Miller,
Vibrations.
vibrations, right?
I haven't been there. I haven't been there, and dang, bro.
And
Forgot
again,
all about them.
I'm speaking towards your past. Don't try to hold this against me in the current. Went up there, ordered smoothies and all that kind of stuff. And because I posted about it, because I was like, the fuck is wrong with y'all? They tell employees, of course, measure shit out and all of that kind of stuff. So you got a limited supply of resources and or of produce. And so they made too much. And then I see them pour my drink, and I was like, yo, can I get that access on the side? I shouldn't have to ask. You should just give it to me. But it's like, can I get that? And they're like, sorry, we're not allowed to give it to you. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? What you gonna do with it? And she was like, sorry, we gotta like throw it away. And I was like, throw it away? Why the fuck would you do that? If nothing else, you drink it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So
That is the only question. What are you gonna do with it? And any other answer but what you just said is the issue, is the problem. It's the problem, yeah.
And I literally argued with them for like 3 minutes because I was like, that makes no sense. That's just bad business. Why are you throwing it away? I can drink it, you can drink it. It should be consumed because otherwise you're just wasting food.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you wasted the water, you wasted the ingredients in the mix, you wasted all kinds of shit.
Yes.
Time, and there's so many things wasted here.
And so I
breath arguing with a customer. Like,
right. I haven't been back since. That put such a bad taste in my mouth because I was like, you're making juice and smoothies. You're going to have access. It's almost impossible to measure this out perfectly.
Yeah.
Put the shit in a shot glass or another cup. You ain't even got to give me a cap on that cup. Put it in a Dixie cup so I can drink it and go about my business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know this is a real first world problem, but I just wanted to bring this up.
Oh, no, that's some real shit, yo. I love that.
No, that's perfect. I completely like understand that. I mean, there's a lot of businesses that do that, where like they throw food out at the
end of the day,
when the shift over, back when I worked at Popeyes, we would throw chicken away.
I was about to mention that, bro.
I'm like, why are we throwing shit? I'm about to take this home. I probably took home thousands of dollars worth of food in my 3 years working at that place. Easily.
I used to be. I remember working there with Adam on whenever him and I work on the same shift, and he'd be at the fucking yo, bro. This is like, all right. He's bold. I'm about to get bold too. I used to be a little hesitant because I guess I was kind of new and shit.
Yeah,
Adam be at the register, and in between customers, he'll dip his like fucking nugget or strip in like a thing of barbecue. He just pop back up like, yo, how can I help you? I'm seeing this shit like, yo, that's some masterful shit right there. And after that, I was like, all right, we're fucking throwing away a bucket full of chicken because it's been cold for 30 minutes. Like, just like, I guess if it's not under the heat lamp for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, over 30 minutes, you're supposed to throw it away, which they don't do.
But are you like, come on, yo? That is like, and then some of the managers would be like, nah, you can't take this home for dinner. Like, who else is
why?
Yeah,
Why
the
can't I
rats
eat
out
this
back
for
about to eat
dinner?
them.
Yeah, this should be free dinner. This is ridiculous.
Like
Yeah.
that just doesn't make any sense. Send that shit to a shelter, send it to some
Yep.
food bank, or let me take it. Someone can consume this food.
Yeah.
Food
Yeah.
waste should not be the issue in this country that it is.
Yeah.
I agree, man. I know there's like laws on like people have been sued and all that shit, so they're worried about that. But there's ways we can work to get around that shit.
And
Yeah.
here's the
Create less
thing.
waste.
Most laws are stupid and evil.
Yeah,
Not
and
every-
they're like,
Not every
and they're based on like fucking 60, 70 years ago or whatever that need to be
or
updated.
consumerism. Like
Yep.
it's a thing of
No.
too many laws are not actually for the betterment of anybody, but people in power or with money.
Yep. It's typically always leads to money in some way or another.
Right.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Making some law about businesses not being able to give away food that they're now forced to waste. Now, don't give away food that's going to endanger people. If you giving away spoiled milk or some shit, by all means, that's done. But you throwing away meat, fruit, produce that's still good makes no sense.
Yeah, there are definitely ways to like get around that in a healthy way and still not be wasteful, man. There's gotta be
Flash
ways
freeze
to do that shit.
that chicken sandwich so I can put it in the oven later.
Bro, I started getting so bold that like I would come in on my shift and I would see like a line of people.
Mhm.
And I'd be like, fuck it. First thing I do is go straight in the back and drop myself a 10 piece of spicy chicken strips, box that shit up for lunch, and then get work on everybody else's order. I was like, fuck it, yo. I see what's going on here. These motherfuckers don't care about me, man. My lunch was created, son.
Yo, I get it.
Yeah, man. So there's this one place.
Mhm.
I think I've mentioned it before. And if and when you guys, when it's safe again, we start traveling and doing all that shit, y'all come down there and check me out. We will be going to this place called Upbeat. And it's just it's fairly fancy. Like it's just really good, hefty salad bowls that you can build your own or get like their whatever fixed version they have on the menu.
Okay.
And they have salads. They have smoothie bowls, regular smoothies.
Love those.
They have the what is it called? The avocado toast and shit. Just really good. And I just like typically what I do is get their fix. I'll get one of their fixed salads and then add like 16 things to it. So and it's man, I've never been disappointed by this place. And there was a time like when I first, maybe 6 months into Nat and I's relationship, we were going every week, spending way too much money. So it's safe to say I didn't have a retirement plan and all that shit at that point. All that shit was going to the salad place, yo. Every week, no doubt. Like with tips, sometimes I was spending $60, $70 the tip, like because we loved it so much that we'd get dinner that night and then lunch for the next day. We'd buy 4 of those full bowls.
You and your 500% tip in there.
Nah, they like that. I think like they have like the kiddie version, the kiddie bowls that are like maybe $8, but then a regular one might range from like 11 to like 14 or 15. But they're really hefty bowls.
Word.
It's vegan, vegetarian, and meat friendly, so everybody can eat there.
Dope.
Yeah,
Dope.
we love that place, yo.
Word. Well, definitely looking forward to that. Upbeat sponsors.
Yes, indeed.
Well, thank y'all for listening to another episode of the InforMILLy Honest podcast. Thank you so much. I know the energy today was much more chill than usual. Did y'all notice that?
I did.
Like it wasn't. Maybe I'm tired. I don't know. My eyes sitting a little low. I promise I didn't smoke today.
Yo, we muddled through somehow.
No, it was fun. It was good. I was noticing it was just in a nice like cruising place.
Yeah, definitely.
We were Adam's morning soundtrack, if you will. Make that call back. By all means, we love and appreciate you all for listening and or watching. Please write us at informillyhonestpodcast@gmail.com. It's on the screen, but in case you're listening, that's InformILLY honestpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at InformILLy Honest. Twitter, does the Twitter handle exist yet?
Yeah, it's InforMILLy _ HP.
InforMILLy_HP and InforMILLy Honest Podcast on Facebook. Write us. Tell us how you feel, good, bad, and different. We don't care. We just want the feedback. And as I said earlier, if you want to videotape, God, how old are we? If you want to record, yourself of your response, we will play it on the podcast and respond to you in real time. So please give us the feedback. Let us know how you feel. Let's build some traction on these pages. I know we're just telling you like you're responsible for our business, but you kind of are. So
why wouldn't you support us? You don't have a good reason. You should just go ahead and support us.
Y'all laughing at these clips every week, right? So just come listen to a full episode. Make this a clip. But yeah, we appreciate you. Not begging, but no, begging. I'm David Ruff. I don't care. I have no shame.
Ain't you proud to beg and please?
But we love you. Appreciate you, gentlemen. Last thoughts.
Man, shit. Thanks for listening. And in your own lives, keep it informal, keep it vulnerable, keep it honest.
Thank you for
Appreciate
taking my
y'all.
statement. I have to say that again. So
I'll see.
I was running out, man. I was running low.
Well, I mean, we've conquered a month of 2021. It's been very eventful. I don't know. I guess keep your heads up. Keep pushing.
Great words. One of my favorite songs. Keep your hair.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, in every conversation that you have, in every relationship that you engage, we encourage you at every waking moment to practice those 3 principles. We promise it will make you a stronger person, and it will make your relationships and engagements stronger. And that is being forthright, being vulnerable, and most of all, be honest. Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Peace out, y'all.
Thanks for listening to another episode.
If he can't get love, he'll find a supplement. Express hurt outwardly or self-inflict cowardly. Everyone wants to belong. Everybody deserves another. I can't depend on others to take care of my own brother.